Years ago, when my wife and I were engaged, we attended a marriage class at our church. And one of the themes of that class was communication. And what they talked about was how a lot of the conflict that married couples deal with centers around communication. And specifically, it centers around unmet needs and unfulfilled expectations. And I've thought about that example for years. And I think about it in terms of accountant client relationships. So often when I meet business owners who are looking for a new accountant, a lot of it has to do with frustration around communication, breakdowns in communication. And some of the things I hear are unmet needs or unfulfilled expectations. Clients say, I need my accountant to do this, that, or the other. I expected my client to do this or to provide this service. I expected them to be more proactive. I expected them to answer my calls. I expected them to answer my emails. It goes on and on. And that really comes back to communication. And if you think about client and accountant relationships, it's a lot like marriage. There has to be clear needs, a clear understanding of the needs that each person has, and there has to be a clear understanding of the expectations for the relationship to work. So one of the things that we do when we're talking with a prospective client is we go through a thorough discovery process. We ask a detailed series of questions to try to understand what our clients' goals and objectives are, what are the pain points and the challenges that they're dealing with currently that are hindering them from meeting those goals and objectives. We try to understand what their current process is for accounting and bookkeeping and all of the things that they're doing. And then we talk about communication. We try to understand what is the client's level of understanding around their financial picture, understanding financial statements and financial health, and how do they like to communicate? Is it, having a meeting? Is it having a phone call? Is it texting? Is it emailing? And so we work through that discovery process, and then we put together a proposal and an engagement letter that has a clear scope of services. And the benefit to doing that is upfront, we work with our clients to establish how often we're going to communicate, how we're going to communicate. That way each party knows what to expect. Now, relationships can change and evolve over time. We have regular check-ins. Typically, it could be a weekly call, it could be a monthly call, but part of that check-in is saying, "Hey, what's working in our relationship and what's not working?" And if we need to adjust the way that we communicate or the frequency of our communication, then we can always do that. But what we found is that establishing clear expectations up front for the frequency of communication and the means of communication, and having a clear scope of services so that both parties understand what's expected of each party to make those services work and to reach those objectives and those goals and outcomes, we find that helps the relationship get off on a good foot. And then because we have regular check-ins, we're able to come back to our clients frequently and assess what's working and what's not. And if we need to adjust how we're working together, then we can always change that scope of service.